Okay, so today we're going to discuss why and how to record or video record your lectures. And I'm Dylan Cromhout. I'm from the marketing department. I lecture marketing to first year students, and I also do a bit of digital marketing to second year students. And I've been playing around with all kinds of technology for the last few years in terms of teaching and learning. So my inspiration was this guy. His name is Salman Khan. And I watched a TED Talk of his in 2013 called Let's Use Video to Reinvent Education, and I was blown away by what technology and what specifically video affords us as teachers in the new kind of in the new society. And he started an organization called the Khan Academy, where basically they teach maths and various other science-related disciplines using video to supplement normal education. And there's a funny story that he tells actually on this TED Talk. He initially started by tutoring his nephews, and he would tutor them one-on-one, and they enjoyed it. But then one day he was away and they needed to ask him a question, and so they asked him, and he sent them a video with the tutoring. And he did a few of these for them until eventually he came back and he was going to start the one-on-one tutoring again. And they said, Uncle Salman, we really appreciate your tutoring, but we prefer you on video. Because we can rewind you whenever we want. We can pause you if we're doing something else. And you're not breathing over our neck saying, do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? So it's a lot less invasive and actually works much better for us. So he kind of got a brainwave and he thought, wow, maybe other people want this as well. And so anyways, he tells his story. So I took cue from that, and I thought, wow, maybe my students who also come from the generation of his nephews want to learn or would like to learn in similar ways. Also don't want me breathing over their necks in class. Do you get it? Do you get it? So I started experimenting with recording my lectures. Okay, so I had some problems, and this is also one of the reasons why I started recording my lectures. In the beginning of the year, most of my students are stuck in registration. I don't know if any of you experienced that problem. So usually my HOD tells me, just do some random little things with them for the first week or two, just we wait until everyone's there. But I've got so much work I need to cover, I can't actually waste that kind of time. Sometimes I have students coming in the second term, they're only still joining, towards the end of the second term sometimes. So how do they catch up? I can't go through that work again. Well, if I could record my lectures, then I wouldn't have to. They could just go and watch the videos. Also sometimes, because of the fact that students are stuck in registration, they're not in my class, and I want to carry on with work, so what do? Another one was, what if students have questions that they want to ask me? Maybe they weren't in class, or they didn't hear me effectively, or they didn't write it down quick enough. Now I could just point them to a video and say, go and watch the video. I cover it in the lecture. Another one was that many of my students are auditory learners. They learn better through listening than they do through reading. So I wanted to give them a resource which was basically the information that's in the textbook, but in an auditory form. And then lastly, because I teach ECP, I need to make extra resources available to them, and this was a great way for me to do that, very simply. Okay, so those were some of my problems that I needed solving. And the first option that I considered, or that one can do or use to record your lectures, is using a laptop. It's the easiest, simplest way to do it. And what's nice about it is most of us have laptops. So you need a laptop, and you need this little program or something similar called Electa Live. There are other programs that I've looked at, but many of them I struggled with, or they were too expensive. This one is cheap, well, it's free, and it works well, and it's very easy to use. Now, the only challenge with using your laptop is that you can't record what you're drawing on the whiteboard or blackboard. And in my lecturing, I often use the blackboard or the whiteboard to draw a diagram or to explain certain things that are maybe not in my PowerPoint. So I wanted to be able to capture that as well. Now, I haven't used this method before, but you can purchase a drawing tablet that you can connect to your laptop and use a drawing software to do diagrams and things, which will then, it will be seen by your students on this board over here, and it will be recorded by your laptop. So that's the option that you have. The other challenge over here is that you can't move around, because this laptop right now is recording my voice using its microphone. So if I walk all the way to the back of the class, the recording won't pick up my voice as effectively. So you need to stay fairly close by to your laptop when you're doing a recording. So those are the two challenges with a laptop. Okay, then the second option is using a video camera. You set up on a tripod somewhere at the back of the class, and yeah, maybe if you could get someone to kind of move it around if you do move around a lot. But one of the best ways to do it, I did it once for a portfolio piece that they wanted from Fundani, and I set it up in the class so that you could see what was on the PowerPoint as well as me and what I was drawing on the board. I needed to speak quite loudly, obviously, but luckily it was a small classroom. So, yeah, that's the other option. My colleague, Rodney Duffett, he used to focus his video camera onto his slides only. So you would hear his voice and see his slides. That was until I showed him Electa Live. Now he uses that. And then the last option is to use a tablet. Now, I actually started off by using a tablet because I wanted the flexibility to be able to draw. So this tablet that I have has a stylus that you can draw on. So I could do drawings, which would then come up on the board and would be recorded at the same time. It's a Samsung Galaxy Note. And this is what it would look like. I would be able to draw certain little things, diagrams. In fact, this tablet actually gives you lots of options for like formula. So if you're in maths or in science, it's got formula automatically set up like that. And what's also nice about it is it enables you, because it connects wirelessly to the projector, it allows you to walk around.
Is formula the name of the app?
Formula, no, like formula like as in X plus Y equals Z.
Oh, you mean any app?
No, there's a special app on here that allows you, it picks up the formula.
Yeah, okay.
If you do use formula.
I've got Note 8, but I suppose that's Note 10.
This was the Note 10, yeah, it's just bigger.
Yeah.
And it allows you to walk around while it's recording, because it's recording using its microphone. So it's wireless. So that gives it a bit more flexibility. And that's kind of what it looks like when it's recording, because it's recording the screen and what's on the screen over here. And the students are seeing the same thing. Okay. But which one do you use? Well, it depends on you. It depends on what you have. It depends on what's simplest. The tablet is a bit more complicated. A tablet, because you need a projector. Well, actually, I'll go through it now. What all you need. So there's the three options, and the simplest by far is the laptop, because we all have them, and you just plug it in and you record your lecture, boom. So, okay, if you want to use a tablet, this is what you need. So you'll understand why I say it's complicated. Okay, you need hardware. First you need a tablet with a stylus, and you can buy a stylus separately if your tablet doesn't have a stylus built in. Also you need a Wi-Fi dongle. This is called a Samsung All-Sharecast dongle. I bought this for about 900 Rand in the beginning, which allows me to connect wirelessly to a projector. Okay, you get others as well. There is budget. You can ask your department to purchase this. My department purchased 2 of them. The suppliers do have them.
My department won't even purchase a bloody projector.
So you can get this if your department would do it. And then lastly, you need a specific projector that has an HDMI port. It needs to have an HDMI port. So the newer projectors have them all. This one has one, this new Epson. But the older projectors don't have them. So you won't be able to do it with an older projector. In fact, in our department, we only had one projector that has an HDMI port, so I secretly kept that projector in my office so that I could use it with my tablet. Don't tell Mandy Jones. And anyway, so that's what you need hardware-wise. Software-wise, you need mirroring software. This tablet comes with that automatically, but others, you can just download it. You also need good presentation software. Some of the free presentation software apps don't work as well. It doesn't bring up the bullets one by one. It brings up the whole page at once, which I don't like. So I tested a few. This one costs about 50 Rand. And then you need good screen recording software, and I've used Screen Recorder Pro, which needs you to break or jailbreak your device, but we've discovered recently some others that doesn't need that. So if you do want to go the tablet route, we can help you find the right software. And then lastly, for any form of recording, you need Windows Movie Maker to edit your videos. And I'm going to show you how to edit your videos. So, is there anyone here who thinks that they will probably use a tablet? I didn't think so. Laptop?
Yes.
Okay, great, laptop. Okay, it's the easiest. I also don't use my tablet anymore because it's so complicated. I just use my laptop these days. Okay, some of the benefits.
Mobility doesn't really. It's not a big enough advantage to go through.
Correct. It's not a big enough advantage, no. Right, some of the benefits. Students are visual learners these days. They are very used to technology and being visually stimulated. So you can give them the exact same information that's in the textbook, but you're giving it to them in a visual format, and that enables them to learn actually more effectively, I've found, because they can engage with it in the same way they do with other things that they do every day, like Facebook, etc. The other benefit, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, is that they can pause and rewind, which in class they can't do. If they didn't hear something in class, it's gone. So, students get stuck in transport. They've got transport issues, and as much as we would like them to be in class from the beginning to the end every time, it's not a reality. They do struggle with transport, and this gives them the opportunity to at least go and catch up on what was missed. Also, what I've done is I connect some of my videos to Blackboard tests. So they have to watch a small video of me teaching something, and then they have to immediately afterwards do a Blackboard test, which then enables me to flip the classroom. Now I've covered the theory, they've done a test on the theory, now they can come to class and we can do cool exercises, which allows me to use my class time much more effectively. Which I just explained, flip the classroom. And then lastly, of course, it helps them prepare for exams. We covered something 5 months ago, they can't remember it very well, and now they can just recap quite easily. Here are these are just two things that students said. In the class, you get distracted by a lot of things, but when you are watching the lectures at home, you are in a comfortable environment with no distractions. Lastly, you can easily watch the whole video, but it's not so easy to read through a whole chapter in the textbook because after the first 10 minutes of reading, you lose interest. So that is a perfect example of students that are not reading. It's not a reading-oriented culture anymore. They don't learn the same way that we learn. I learn through reading, personally, but the students don't entirely. But what's nice about the video is that they are reading anyways, because they're reading your PowerPoint slides, but they're also listening to your voice. There has been questions that lecturers have asked me, Dylan, if you put up your lectures, don't students just skip class? And I can tell you unequivocally, no, they do not skip class. They still come to class because they still prefer, in many ways, that one-on-one engagement, or not one-on-one, they like coming to class because you often cover other things like tests and exercises and things that you're not going to get on a video. So I haven't found that it actually negatively impacts my class attendance at all. Okay, and that's me. Are there any questions?